All right, so with the beginning of the NBA regular season, I thought it would be a good idea to go over the scoreboard situation, the television scoreboard situation in relation to the NBA. Is ESPN breaking out a new scoreboard? What about TNT? And then you do have a bunch of networks, kind of like MLB, where there's just a bunch of different random networks that have teams, and we're going to go over this. So we're going to start with TNT. You can see this is not a new one. This is the same one they've had like the last 2 or 3 years. And it really is sad. It's not that bad, but TNT used to always have an amazing scoreboard. I remember one specifically when I was a lot younger. It was great. I'm going to show a picture of that because it was so good. But this one they have right now, there's nothing bad about it. When it comes to scoreboards, especially in NBA, NFL, whatever, I do like them kind of taking up as little as possible. Whenever they're taking up a lot of space, it is annoying. So you do have, the team colors. That's kind of nice. I would really like the logos as well. I guess you could say the little animation of it when a team scores, it shows their logo. That's kind of cool. There's nothing terrible about it, but I would think at some point TNT, it just seems like their scoreboards are a lot more bland than they used to be. And also, I'm really not a big fan of the font, especially for the abbreviation of the teams. This is ESPN. So ESPN broke this one out last year. That's when they debuted it. So obviously, they're not going to be getting a new one that quickly. And it's just very average. I will say the size of it is way better than the old one. Do you guys remember during the pandemic, ESPN's scoreboard? It took up the entire bottom of the screen. It was a landscape scoreboard just like this one, but I think they took some of the constructive criticism correctly and condensed the scoreboard a lot. So the size of it is fine, but I really would like to see some incorporation of the team logo into the scoreboard. And then also you do have kind of a weird situation with the time being outlined in white. I'm really not a fan of it. It just kind of is distracting. I mean, all it is the time. It makes it like you think like, oh, the shot clock is running down or something because it's outlined in white. It's just like a weird design quirk of it, and they decided not to change it. So there's nothing horrible about it. It does have the team records at the bottom, which I guess is fine in terms of the context. Moving on to the NBC, so a lot of teams are on NBC, the NBC Sports. I think it's like 7 or 8 teams, and you can take a look at it. I think this one's probably one of the best NBA scoreboards of 2023/2024. Just looking at it, you really don't need the abbreviation. You've got the nice logos, you've got in the background the color, and then you've got pretty much everything you need right there. The timeouts? I don't see a need for timeouts. That just clutters it. And then the foul situation. Yeah, having the fouls down there is fine. The timeouts really should go, though. That just clutters it. You could kind of update people on timeouts once it gets really low or try and incorporate them somewhere else. This is like the first year. Yeah, I believe this is the Suns' new scoreboard because they left Bally Sports because Bally went bankrupt and they lost rights to several teams. And this is their new scoreboard. Or maybe this is Root Sports. This is either Gray Television or Root Sports, and there's nothing horrible about it. It's an interesting shape for sure. It kind of has curves, the curved sides, and then it just has, that's fine. I will say, like, the font on the time, it's kind of low budget a little bit, you can kind of tell, but yeah, that one's not terrible. I don't have a real issue with that. This is Spectrum, so this is the Lakers. This one has always been horrible. Spectrum Sports in general has a terrible scoreboard for football, college football, and also the Lakers because they have the rights to their games, and I just don't like it. It reminds me of a scoreboard from like 2012 or 2013. It's completely outdated. At what point are you going to get a new one? This reminds me of the Root Sports scoreboard from like 2017 or 2018 in the MLB. It has the same design features. It's just not that good, personally, in my opinion. This is Yes. So Yes always has a very clean scoreboard. I'm surprised that other networks like ESPN don't ask Yes for like the graphics package rights or something, because they have really good graphics, and their scoreboard, you can see it's no nonsense. It's very easy to digest. You can say, well, it doesn't include the timeouts. you don't really need the timeouts. At the end, you can kind of tell people, they have 2 timeouts left, they have 1 timeout, whatever. You can kind of show it. It's just very clean. You can see it has pretty much everything you would want. It's got the team background color. It's got the logo. It doesn't take up too much of the screen. I like the font. It's very simple. So yeah, yes, when it comes to the Yankees and the Nets, they do a really good job. Here it is, Bally Sports. I just cannot believe what's gone on with Bally Sports. They debuted this thing back when they got the rights to all the NBA games and MLB games, like in 2021. Everyone hated it, and they haven't changed it at all. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You've got half of the scoreboard. It's useless. Nobody cares what the name of the refs are in a regular season game. Why does that information matter? Get that off of the screen. It's crap. It makes it look cluttered. It's terrible. But they will not remove the horizontal bar of death, which is the Bally Sports scoreboard. I think the logos are okay, but the problem is the logos are cut off because the scoreboard is so horizontal. They can't fit the logos in there. It's just such a bad design. And again, this has been an issue now for 3 straight years, and they just refuse to change it. And Bally Sports did go bankrupt, but I guess they still have they've got the rights to like 14 teams still in the NBA. So this is the scoreboard you will see the most when it comes to the NBA and MLB, and it's just completely low budget. So this is SN Network. This is the Toronto Raptors kind of personal scoreboard. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. This is the same design as they had last year. The only issue is it's the lack of the logo. You've got to incorporate the logo, maybe make the scoreboard a little bit bigger, add the logo next to the team abbreviation, and I think this scoreboard would be pretty elite, honestly. But there's really not much of an issue with it. Oh my goodness. So this is Utah's personal one. Yeah, this is going back to 2007. Absolutely horrible. I mean, just brutal to look at. The graphics package of this, the design of it, the bars. Do you see those 2 bars in between, like, the time? And it says first quarter, and the bars are, oh my God, is this a bad one? This reminds me of a college football one I recently saw. I think it might be the Mountain West Network. Yeah, I think it is. It's just, like, who designs these things? It's 2023. You can't get a good scoreboard? And then this one, this is the Root Sports. This is elite. This is what the Bally Sports scoreboard should be. This might be the best one, honestly, just looking at it. Like, look at how vibrant the colors are. The colors, the logos. They do have the timeouts. I don't think that's necessary, but it is still cool to see kind of the little slits. The design of it is really cool. The only thing that's bad about this one is the fact that the quarter is spelled out. That's really corny. Like, it says first quarter. What it really should be, it should be the number 1 ST and then quarter, if you really want to do that. You don't spell out the word first. That just looks bad to me. Like, second quarter, yeah, that's not, when people are looking at a scoreboard, they want quick information. They don't want to have to read something like that. So that's the only issue with it. But that might be the best one, if I'm going to be completely honest. That is really, really nice. But when it comes to the NBA scoreboards, the ones that you're going to see the most, obviously TNT. I'm guessing they're probably going to get a new one next year because they've had this one for like 3 straight seasons now. And then also ESPN, that we're probably stuck with the ESPN one for at least another year after this year, because normally they change them every 4 years or around there unless they get so much hate. And then Bally Sports, I think Bally Sports they've got to go. It's a charade. They're bankrupt. They have horrible ratings. They're losing everyone. They lost the Phoenix Suns. And we'll have to see if anyone ends up picking up all of those rights to the teams. Maybe the NBA will have to. And then you'll have like the little NBA TV scoreboard, which, by the way, I don't even think we've seen the NBA TV scoreboard this year because I'm not even sure there's been any games exclusively on NBA TV. But either way, I will say the best one probably is the Root Sports one. I just think that looks nice. Also, the NBC, they have a pretty good scoreboard as well for NBA. But I do have to say, and this is kind of like the only thing I can give Bally Sports credit on, I'll have to see if I can find like a game from 2022 or like earlier, like towards the end of the 2023 season for the NBA. What they do is if a team is wearing throwback jerseys, they will actually put their throwback logo on the scoreboard. I have to say that's impressive. I'm not going to lie. That is impressive. That's nice. You like to see something like that because most of the time that never happens. But other than that, that's pretty much the only good thing I can say about Bally Sports and their horizontal scoreboard of death. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on X. Link to that's always in the description.